think the defensive players have adjusted to the new defense, Tennessee?
I think we adjusted really well. Obviously, it was a new defense, new front, different scheme and different techniques, but I think we've overall adjusted really well to it.
Do you feel more comfortable at inside linebacker as opposed to outside?
I mean, it has its pros and cons, but I like it. It is what it is.
What are the pros?
Pros, get run a little bit more. If your nose is playing really well, keep the guards and centers off of you. Cons a little bit, you gotta be a little bit more physical inside and taking the guards off.
Quart'e, how do you feel about the depth there at inside linebacker?
I feel really good. We're really actually getting really healthy in the linebacker room, and we're really happy that everybody's participating and creating that depth that we haven't had going into the season.
What do you think will be the biggest strength for this defense this year?
The biggest strength, probably feeding off of one another. Defense doesn't work accordingly to unless one position does good. Speaking as the defensive line does good, the linebackers are going to do good.
How do you,
line do good, DBs are going to do well as well.
How do you think the new scheme fits the talent on the roster that you have on defense?
It fits really well. I know obviously we had to adjust to it a little bit, but I feel like our talent, or whereas the players we have, it fits really well.
Quart'e, what's been the biggest difference of having a head coach who's a defensive guy this year?
Yeah, it's a little different. A little better practice. I mean, the practices are obviously, I would say, accustomed to the defense, more catering to the defense, but I mean, it's really more focused on the defense.
Why will you guys be better at stopping the run this year?
I mean, obviously, our stress, obviously, what we did last year wasn't good enough, and we've been stressing that since January or February since they've been here. So, obviously, we're going to do better than what we did last year.
Quart'e, what was your reaction to the first time that you were told, hey, you're going to go be an inside linebacker now? I mean, you were a guy who had to put on weight when you first got here. When you first heard that, were you thinking, oh, no, how's this going to go?
I was really excited. I mean, obviously, every year is a challenge. You have to take on the challenge and, look forward to it. So I was really excited to, being able to learn another position and having that, being able to add to my resume, being able to do so.
How eager are you to play West Virginia to get a game under your belt?
Really eager. I think I can speak for the whole team. Everybody's ready to hit somebody else than ourselves.
What are your thoughts on West Virginia's offense?
They're really explosive. They have a really explosive offense, and obviously my freshman year I got to see Will Greer at the Gators, so we're going to have to be on our P's and Q's. So
what impresses you about Greer?
His arm, obviously, and his pocket presence. He can get out the pocket. When we played him in 2015, he kind of scrambled on us a lot. So some of the older guys, DK, Kyle Phillips, we remember that, and we're really stressing to keep him in the pocket.
Adapting to a new scheme, would you rather have an opening game where maybe they'll kind of ease into things, or do you like starting with a ranked opponent right off the bat?
I mean, I really could say we don't have a choice. I mean, the last couple of years we've opened up with tough games. They haven't really been too easy. Obviously, last year Georgia Tech, and the year before that we went to Nashville. My freshman year we went Bowling Green, and their offense was really explosive as well. I mean, really can't. Players don't have a choice for that.
Quart'e, you guys have a lot of guys in that linebacking group, especially inside. They know the defense and know the calls. How are you guys handling that when multiple guys can handle that responsibility?
It's interesting. We're basically interchangeable. Knowing both a will, inside linebacker, it really helps the defense. It helps us in the linebacker room understanding the defense fully and come like inside and out.
But how do you guys do that when you're on the field in team settings? How do you split up those communication responsibilities where you're not stepping over each other or things like that?
Basically communicating. Obviously me and Batuli or Darren Kirkland switching between positions. We have to communicate. Obviously sometimes it gets confusing when you're playing a different position, but obviously if you communicate with one another, that we help each other.
How do you feel about the Pruitt concepts? He talked about everyone needing to understand their concepts, and that way you can be position versatile if you know those concepts. How have you guys taken in and understood those concepts?
Basically, when you're learning the defense or installing, don't basically lock in on one position. Mm-hmm. Just imagine those players as X's. If you learn the defense in that way, you don't have any problems. Because if you learn what X does what, it's fine. You don't have to be focused on my will. I got to focus on this position. He teaches it in concepts, like you said, and it's better to learn it that way.
How would you describe Jeremy Pruitt's coaching or teaching style?
It's very aggressive. I would say it's very aggressive, but it's more more aggressive as a way he wants you to learn it to help you, help our defense. You can see he has genuinely a joy of playing football, coaching football, and he wants us to do well.
When's the time that you've that he's made something clear to you that sort of you've left the practice field, feeling, I guess, with a better understanding of the scheme? What does that look like?
I would say every day. He leaves practice and tells us what we have done and what we haven't done. Basically saying what we need to work on. He's always coaching. That's one thing you can always expect out of him. He's going to keep it clean cut and dry. He's going to tell you what you need to work on.
Quart'e, in this area, y'all can, you can Google stats. You can go in and look, and when you get a new coach and see what he's about, where he's from, and when you look at where he's been and the success they've had and the way they've played defense, does that kind of get a guy respect from day one in the locker room?
Most definitely. What you said, being said about him Googling, I mean, you don't really even have to Google about his stats or anything. His name speaks for itself, and that brings excitement for the defense as a whole. The team as a whole as well, having a coach with his resume, bringing him in. So a lot of guys were really excited.
What did you see from Kirkland over the last week? I know he's been a bit limited in practice, but how much has he participated in the 11-on-11s, and what did you kind of see from him at the?
He's been participating. We're just really excited to add the depth to the linebacker room. So he's doing his maintenance and he's getting back.
What does he bring to the table?
He brings a lot. Obviously, it's another older guy. Like myself, upperclassman, so just having him in a room, just being able to lead the younger guys is really helpful.
Do you get a sense for what special teams means as coaching staff?
Oh, special teams, this staff, special teams just means just as important as offense or defense. Regardless, Coach Pruitt is really, really pushing on that everybody's going to play special teams no matter who you are, and our best players are going to be on special teams, so hopefully I get an opportunity to be on special teams.
Is that kind of a new concept, new idea, that the best players play on that unit?
A little bit. Previously, we didn't have certain position groups on special teams, but right now it doesn't matter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Zach. Nice work.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of king time, Nate.
Oh, yeah.
You might want to check.
That was his plan.
Yeah. That's